I know more than you can do. Hey, I'm not going to brag. No braggadocio here. I'm not going to brag. This is just a fact of life, folks. I know more about this than you do. I know more about this than you can do, because there's some stuff we're going to do, and I'm here to tell you right now, you won't be able to do it like I can. Okay? Doesn't mean you won't be able to at some point, just right now. So don't feel defeated. Don't feel like you're a failure quite yet, even though technically you will be a failure according to the rules of my program. Okay? So I know more than you can do. What does that mean, Dwell? You mentioned earlier that you had some special insights into the eye as you were driving down the road. How fast were you going, Dwell? I don't know. It was a 45-mile-an-hour speed limit. I don't know. Was that speeding? You tell me. You've got all these stories up in your head. I'm not even sure what you're talking about. So here I am. Imagine this, a 12-year-old Dwell Taylor. 12 years old. I'm born and raised in Bella Coola, BC, on the coast of Canada. Okay? And I was raised as a Nuksalk warrior. Okay, the Nuksalk are the First Nations people in Bella Coola. First Nations people. I was adopted into the tribe ceremonially at a potlatch. Those of you who know about the potlatch know that that's where the owner gives away the gifts to the people who show up. Okay? Apparently I was a gifted potlatch. I was sold into the tribe at a potlatch. Hey, my mother was negligent. It was okay. I didn't ask questions because, frankly, the trailer I was living in was a little drafty. Got into the longhouse, had a constant fire going. It's good. So here I am. I'm in the Nuksalk tribe. I'm a warrior. I'm trained in the ways of the warrior. I'm trained to crawl across the trees. I'm trained to do things that normal people, especially people in the lower 48, down here in the North America, United States, they don't know how to do some of these things. Okay? So here's my story. This is how it happened. Okay? This is a true story. I was 12 years old. I was abandoned in the wilderness as a 12-year-old. You can imagine how I felt when I didn't even know who was flying that plane. Hey, how did I get in the wilderness? It was a bit of a mystery. It was a long time ago. I have not quite cracked that nut yet. But the point is, I do remember being lost in the wilderness. Okay? Now, at first, I was a trained warrior. I was full of pride. I could have whittled a rat trap right from a blade of grass. Okay, I could have done anything I wanted to, so I was running around, I was pretending I was, Lord of the Flies. I'm going to put up a pond, and I'm going to go put some seaweed around it, okay, playing around. Okay, but then reality set in. I started to get a little bit hungry. Okay, so, hey, I knew how to handle that just fine. I said, excuse me, squirrels. Would you mind cutting out the trees and sacrificing yourself for my benefit? Okay, thank you. Thank you for it. Okay? No takers. Squirrels took off. Next slide, please. So here I am. I'm walking along the forest. I'm starving. I'm starting to think about, hey, can I catch fish with my hands? They're too fast. Try to eat some twigs. That didn't work. Tried to eat a frog. Didn't taste that good. Okay? Well, I finally decided. I stumbled across a pile of pine cones. Some little pine cones. Welcome. Thank you very much. Have a seat. I have to warn you folks that you will fail tonight, especially so close to the stage. I can't guarantee that you're not going to feel bad about yourself for a couple of minutes. Okay? Welcome. Thank you. Welcome. Well, please do. In fact, I might have you come up on stage. Okay, it's on the floor. Okay. So I was just saying before you guys so rudely came in the middle of my seminar. It's okay. No bad ideas to brainstorm. It's okay. So here I am. I'm starving in the wilderness, British Columbia. I had no idea how I got there. Okay. I look down. I'm starving. I see this pile of pine cones. I say, hey, that looks like it might be pretty good. That's a pile of grape nuts. Someone dumped them out on the ground. Maybe you'll have one. See how that goes. Okay. Picked it up. Took a bite of it. Hey, that was no grape nut. That was a tainted pine cone. That was a tainted pine cone. I went into a pine cone fever, stupid. Okay? It's not clear to me how long it really was. Sometimes I go back and forth. One time somebody wrote in the back of my El Camino on the road up by 100 Mile House, BC, says, hey, Rip Van Winkle. Okay? I took that to mean, hey, maybe it was a year. I think it's more like 3 or 4 hours, frankly. Okay, 3 or 4 hours. But the point is that I'm out cold. I'm in a pine cone fever. I'm in some kind of a spiritual induced situation where Yeah, you know what? I might be able to help people in the future. I'm not clear on that though. I wasn't mature enough to figure that out. Okay? But something happened. Something very special happened. I was touched. I was visited by a warrior named Toma. Okay? Roll tape.
Well, welcome to Pinecone Fever. I have brought you here partly because of your ignorance of the natural world and its bounty. Partly because I want you to grow up and stop talking back to your elders. If you touch your upper lip, you'll notice that I have fast-tracked you to puberty, so you can claim to be an optimal life coach. But be careful with this power. Used in the wrong way, it can destroy the lives of millions. Now go home and do your schoolwork.
Go home and do your schoolwork, you said. Well, yeah, that's touched by a warrior. Okay? So you can say when I stand in front of you and say, hey, I can do this better than you, I know more than you can do, I'm not just saying that to be all bluffy. I'm not saying that to be breezy in Seattle, Washington. Okay? This is a situation where I just have to claim superiority. Touched by a warrior. Okay? Tell me the last time that you ate a pine cone, fell asleep in the middle of the woods, and were visited by a warrior in the sky. Okay?